for Hazor. Okay. Mishnah. Mem Gimel Amud Aleph. So Mafkid Mois Eitzel Shulchani. So if you give Mois by a Shulchani, to a Shulchani is a money changer, right? On the day that they killed the money changer, right?
Right.
On that, they killed him
in the Beirut, yeah.
Yeah. Baruch Hashem. Anyway, so they killed the money changer.
No, see, Yaakov, I didn't want to count that.
You don't want to count that?
It might have been the day before. No, because they say bad things happen 3, so they Baruch Hashem got rid of 3 Yimach Shemaynos from that guy's children, and then this Yimach Shemay O.J. Simpson died. Chayra Behema Gasa. So I was waiting for a third one. That's what I'm waiting for, a third.
I hear. Okay, so I mean, you're saying, all right, whatever it is. But so okay, so you have a money changer. So here there's no killing, but just money changing hands. So I'm afkin mois etzel shulchani im tzurin. So if the money was wrapped up, meaning you give the money to a money changer to watch for you, and if it was wrapped up, lo yishtamish ben, the money changer can't use them. Right? Because it was wrapped up. If it gets lost, then there's not chayiv in nachrayas because there was nothing for him to be gained. There was nothing to be gained by him. He's a shemechino, right? Mutarin, but if the money was untied, so that means yishtamish ben. He can give it to him. He can use it. If it gets lost, he's chayiv in nachrayas. Right. So now either he's a shomer sacher or a shoyel.
I'm confused. If tzurin is the issue, what's the difference? Shomer sacher, shomer chinam, shoyel.
What do you mean? If it's
what do you say? What? The Mishnah. What does the Mishnah mean when it says? In true lo yishtamish from why?
Because it's wrapped up for a reason. He didn't want him to use it.
There's a simon because I'm saying.
I think the Gemara will explain.
Okay.
Well, it's going to explain in the other case. I don't know if it's explained on the Tzurin case, but okay, we'll see. But anyways,
I'm just trying to understand what. Okay.
If Tzurin, then he gave it to him wrapped up. He can't use it.
Why not?
That's what it's saying. He can't use it.
Because why would he give it to him wrapped up?
Maybe he takes $10,000 and he wraps them up in bundles. I don't know. Maybe he has $100,000 in his house and he's wrapping up. What is Tzurin doing? It's making a simon that I don't want you to use it. What is it doing?
Yes. Well, the Gemara is going to discuss exactly what it's doing. But that's what it is. Whichever way you're going to learn in the Gemara, that's what it's doing.
What is Rashi saying now? What is Rashi saying now?
What do you mean? There is no Rashi.
We don't do Rashi.
There's no Rashi on the Mishnah.
And there's no Rashi on the Mishnah.
Okay.
At the Gemara.
By the way, you may find that we may figure it out if we open the right Masechta over there.
Yeah, they go. The Olam is rowdy tonight.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Zebby. That was too easy. That one.
Anyways, so if it's wrapped up, he can't use it. So therefore, he's not responsible. If it's unwrapped, then he could use it, and he's responsible. Eitzel balabayis. So that's if it goes to a money changer. But if it goes to balabayis, so bein tzur and bein mutar lo yishtamish ben. Whether they're tied up, whether they're untied, you don't use them. Lefikach, meaning because it's not meant to. He's not meant. He's supposed to be watching the guy's money. If it gets lost, he's not chayiv in the achrayas. Right. So again, if you use it, you're chayiv in the achrayas. If you don't use it, then you're not. Chenveni kabbalah bias of divrei Rameir. A chenveni is like a bala bias, and a chenveni is just a store owner. Meaning, when you give money to a store owner, do you mean that he should use it, or do you mean that he shouldn't use it? Right. So, meaning, is he like a balabayas where he shouldn't be used, or he's like a money changer where he should be used? So, chenveni Kabbalah bias, the Rameh, Rav Yudah Mechemeni Keshulchani, he's like a Shulchani. Fine. So Zog the Gemara. Mishum the Tzor, frag the Gemara. Mishum the Tzroiris, Lo Yishtamish Ben. This is Zev's Kasha. Right? Because it's wrapped up, so that means he shouldn't use it. What's the difference if it's tied up or not? So Amar Rav Asi, Amar Rav Yehuda, B'tzur v'chasum and shano. It's not stamped that it's wrapped up. It has a seal on it too. So it has since it has a seal in it, you're showing him that you can't use it. Right? B'tzur v'chasum and shano. We're talking about where it's sealed, wrapped up, and it's sealed. Right? It's becoming a big issue with the people that are trying to that don't sell chametz gomer, that are trying to sell their sourdough starter that's been with them for years and they don't want to lose it, but they don't sell. They only sell chametz gomer. They don't sell chametz gomer, so I tell them give it to a guy, bring it, let the guy bring it to the house. The problem is you don't want the guy putting tarfus into it. So how do you know? So you give it to the guy wrapped up, like with a seal, like the Gemara is saying now. The only problem is if you give it wrapped up, then it's not a real mechira because you're telling the guy you can't have it, right? So you have to know how to tell the guy like it's sealed, but if you want to take it, gesundheit, whatever, you have to figure out exactly how that works. But normally when you give something with a seal, it's like telling the guy, right? If you're telling the guy to that you shouldn't use it.
You know the story with your father.
No, which story?
He said over that somebody came to him that he had done a taiva for a rebbelah. So the Rebbitzin to be marketed to taiva, she sent a challah to this yid. So he instead of eating it, he shellacked it and put it on a shelf in the house. So after Yontif, he was telling your father, "Oh, that's very nice. You don't have the Rebbe's challah. You have Vinny's challah." That's not the Rebbe's challah. You got your schlag Vinny's challah.
Yeah, it's interesting. And there's also the Pri Chadash, who the guy wrote on rice. Right, I think on a rice currently wrote a whole shtickle Torah or something. Anyways, okay, so that's what Surah Chasumin is. Rav Mariam or Bekesher Meshuna. It's talking about we had a kesher that was Meshuna, different kesher. So therefore, it was like a simon to the guy not to use it. That's similar to Rutzah. Igadamri. Some say Bayi Rav Mari Kesher Meshuna Mai. If the guy tied it up with a different knot, so what's the din? Take it to take. Fine. Mutarin yishtamish ben. If they're mutter, if they're untied, then you use them. So Omerov now he could use them. Why? But that means you use them, and then he's responsible if something happens to him. So that means why? Why? Because that means that he is getting. If the money changer is using them, means he's making a few dollars over here. So that means he's getting paid. He's getting paid. Now he's gaining something. So if that's the case, so then if he's getting paid, so what do we look at him as? We look at him as a borrower, in which case he's chayiv for everything, or is he a paid watchman, in which case he's not chayiv on everything. So Rav Huna says even if it was an einus, which means that he's borrowing it. But the thing is, the Mishnah says im avdu, right? Which is mashma that okay, so it gets lost. He's chayav, but if it's an einus, he's not chayav. So the answer is the Rabba, the Amar Rabba, nignavu belistim mezuyim. If it gets stolen, when we said it got stolen, it's talking about with armed robbers, which is an einus. And avdu shatavas vinasa biyam is where the ship where he was sank in the water, which is also considered an einus, even though it goes under the category of avdu. Rav Nachman Amar Nensulai, and Rav Nachman said that he disagrees with Rav Huna, and he says he's not responsible for einus, right? Because why? We look at him like a shomer sacher. Some of the Rav Nachman the Doch Amar Nensulai. So according to you, who says that if it's an einus, he's not responsible. Amaloi havi shoyel. That means you're saying that he's not a borrower, because it means he's getting paid. He's a shomer sacher. So if he's not a shoyel, then he's not a shomer sacher either. Right? Meaning if he's you can't have it both. If he's not getting any money, if he's not a shoyel, so that means he's not getting anything out of it. So then how could he be a shomer sacher? So then because he's not getting paid. So but this that I'm minded to you that he is considered like he's getting paid. Why the hayel banana? Since he is getting hana from it, he's also being mahana. Why? Bahu hana the imus ram. I'm sorry. The hayel banana mahana bahu hana. He's going to be mahana with that hana. Why? What's the hana? The imus ramalis vina this paravocha zavanmu. Because now that he has this guy's money, even though he may not spend it, but he knows that he has it. So if a good business deal comes along, he'll be able to buy it. So because of that little hana that he has the potential to use this money to make a business deal. So that's considered a payment, right? And we know that's if you have cash on hand, that's considered a powerful thing for business, right? You're able to do business with it. It's fine. So if a guy gives money to a shulchani, so now this is talking about where the gizbar is the guy in charge of the money of the Beis Hamikdash, and he gave money to the shulchani to watch it. Yeah, but he made a mistake and he thought it was his own private money that he was giving to the shulchani. And it was not his private money. It ended up being the Beis Hamikdash's money. So then there's something called me'ila. Me'ila is when you use something from hektish by mistake, right? So here he by mistake gave the money to the money changer. So so if he gave it to him tied up, like we learned before, lo yishtamish ben. So the money changer is not allowed to use it. Lefikach im haitzi. If the money changer did, lo ma'ala gizbar. So then that was not the what do we call the gizbar again? The treasurer's fault, because the guy wasn't meant to use it. But if he gave him the money untied, like the Mishnah says, that means that he meant for the money changer to use them. If he did end up using it and it went out from hektish, ma'ala gizbar, and the gizbar is the one that made the mistake. Right? Fine. So that's the basic case. So and if you're going to say that even if he was an einus, he's chayiv, my area hoitzi, then why does it have to say that the money changer spent the money? Afilu loy hoitzi nami. Even if he didn't spend the money, it's meila on the part of the gizbar, because by giving it the money to the money changer, by the gizbar giving it to the shulchani, and now that shulchani has the opportunity to spend it, so then memela, that's as if it went out of hektish. Right? So how do you understand that? Yes, it's true. Even if the money changer, even the shulchani did not spend the money, it's still going out from hektish. But I did on a reisha hoitzi. Since the Reisha said Haitzi, the Sefer also says Haitzi, but it's not it's lavdafka. So Enochanami, if he gives the money untied, the gizbar by mistake gives money of hektish to the shulchani untied, since that shulchani has the opportunity to spend the money, therefore he's going to be chayiv on meila. Meila only works if it's done by mistake. That's you don't have it if it's done on purpose. Right? Fine. Next Mishnah. Fine. Zok the Mishnah. Shaleach yad b'kada. So let's say, so we know we had over the last 2 days ago's daf, we had that the shomer is not allowed to use the item. If he did, it's called shlichus yad. The item that he's watching, he's not allowed to use. Right? So here we're talking about where the guy used it, Stami used it, and then later it got ruined. The question is, when is he chayiv from? Let's say the price fluctuated from when he first used it to when it got destroyed. Meaning, a guy leaves a face. Yeah.
What's the definition of usage?
Anything. If he's not meant to use it,
you give me a painting of yours to watch. So I put it on my wall, and my banker comes in, and I ask him for a loan, and he says to himself, "Boy, this guy, I didn't know a guy who had so much money." So he gives me a loan because I have this painting on the wall. I have your Picasso on my wall.
Right. Yeah, but that's not.
Is that usage?
I don't think that's unless he wasn't supposed to hang it on the wall, and he hung it on the wall anyways. Right? Then I would think it's usage. I'm no bucky in the usage of Shaiman, right?
Fine, okay, fine.
I would think that if it's not meant to be hung up and he hung it up, that would be considered usage.
Okay, fine.
Aaron, if I see you rolling into Mincha with Moshe Wolfson's Maybach, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
That would be considered usage.
You sent the person from Letitia James's office to take pictures of me today. Is that
still a hate?
Okay, I'm not. Yeah, but anyways, so what happened is that he used. Let's say you gave a guy a cell phone to watch. He's not supposed to use the cell phone, but then he used the cell phone, and then came a flood and flooded the cell phone. That's basically the shiloh, right? And then cell phone prices in the interim either went up or went down. So then, how much is he chayiv? Right? That's basically the shiloh. So shalei chayav b'pikadon. If somebody uses the pikadon, I mean the shomer uses the pikadon, b'shamay yarim yilka b'chasar uveyasa. He gets mal. It doesn't mean malchus, but he gets punished, which means he has to pay whether it goes down or whether it goes up. Meaning he's always paying the max. If the worth of the phone, using our example, went down, he has to pay what it was worth initially. And if it went up, then he has to pay the higher price, which means he's really on getting the rough end of things. And it's all tully in whether it's considered as a ganav or not. Is he a ganav? Is he not a ganav? And if he is a ganav, going back into the sugis above a kama, so when somebody steals something and then the price fluctuates before he returns it, so how much does he have to pay? Right, so that's all part of the shiloh. So he has to pay the most, whether it's more or less. He pays it when it went out, which we're going to be seeing in the Gemara exactly what that means. What does it mean? Haitzah from where? Right? And Rabbi Kiva Aimer Kishas Hatvia, he pays it at the time that they go to Bezdin. Right? Whatever it was worth at the time that they went to Bezdin, that's how much he has to pay. Right? So 3 shitas of the Tanoim. Shammai, Beis Hillel, and Rabbi Kiva. Fine. So Amar Rabba, Haiman, the Gazel Chavisa, the Chamri Chavre. So the guy stole. Now we're talking about stealing. The Mishnah was talking about if he was watching it and he used it when he wasn't supposed to. So Haiman, the Gazel Chavisa, the Chamri Chavre, a guy that stole a barrel of wine from his friend Meikara. Racham, he calls it his friend here, and he stole it from him. So Uriah yesterday that a friend the Shem Mechinam is loved after, based on this Gemara, I think. But anyway, right? So Meikara Shavi Zuzah. When he stole it, it was worth a zuz. Hashta Shavi Arba. Now it went up, meaning when he first used it, it was worth a zuz. Now it went up to 4 zuz. Tavra oy Shasya. So then, if he actually broke it or he drank the wine, Mishalim Arba, then he has to pay 4, whatever it was worth when it actually got destroyed. Ispar Memela, but if it broke by itself, again, he used the wine, then you had 2 options. Then either it broke by itself, or he smashed it, or he drank the whole thing. So then, if it happened by itself, Mishalim Zuzah, he pays a zuz. Right? My time. What's the reason? Since if the wine would be around, it would have gone back the way it is. The kashasile. So then when he drank it, when he broke it, that's when the stealing happened. Gezela, you always pay all ganavim pay at the time of gezela. It's from a mela. But if it broke by itself, Mishalim Zuz, he only has to pay a Zuz. My time, Hashtaloi Ovid Loveloy Midi. Now he didn't do anything. Why should he be chayev? He shot the gazla, right? When did he become chayev? He became chayev on the time when he stole. He shot the zuzah who the shavar, and then it was only worth a zuz. Right? So that's how the difference is whether it was broken by the guy or he drank the wine or it broke by itself. Fine. So when I asks Tanan, Basila says B'shas Haitzah. Right, so he has to pay, but how much it was worth when he spent it. My Kashas Haitzah. What does it mean Kashas Haitzah? If it's talking about that it's worth how much it went out when it left the world over my, so then Ibachasa, if it went down, Amar, is there a shita that says that you pay the cheaper price, meaning if you steal something that's worth 4 zuz, and then it goes back down to 1 zuz, is there anybody that says you pay 1 zuz? We know that any crook pays at the time of what it was worth when it was a gazela. And if it went up, and he's saying that you have to pay the higher price, and then Hainu Beis Shammai, that means Beis Hillel is saying the same thing as Beis Shammai. Ella Pshita Kishas Haitzah Mi Beis Bailim. It's not talking about Hashas Haitzah when it got damaged. It's talking about when it was taken out from the owner's reshus. Meaning, when was it taken out from the owner's reshus? When he decided to go use it, right? If he decided to go use it, that's when it went out of its reshus. So whatever it was worth then, according to Zillow, that's what he's going to have to pay, right? Meaning, if it went up in price, then he pays what it was worth when he broke the whole thing. And according to Beis Hillel, that's according to Beis Shammai. According to Beis Hillel, it pays whatever it was worth when he first took it out of the guy's reshus. Okay, so if that's the case, then again, Beis Shammai is holding that you pay what it was worth when it got ruined. So Lema Rabba Domer Beis Shammai. So why don't we, if that's the case, so we say, let's say Rabba is going like Beis Shammai, right? Meaning because according to Rabba, you pay what it was worth when the guy, when it was destroyed. So that means Rabba holds like Beis Shammai. So what's wrong with Rabba holding like Beis Shammai? So the problem is that we normally don't paskin like Beis Shammai. We have a machlokes Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel. We paskin like Beis Shammai, we paskin like Beis Hillel, not like Beis Shammai. So what are you saying? Rabba is going like Beis Shammai. When the price goes up, everybody, there's no machlokes that he has to pay what it was worth when he broke it or drank it. Machlokes is when the price went down. This we had a couple of blocks ago. The shlichus yad, this would be Rabban, what you asked. Shlichus yad does not need chesaron, meaning if you just take the guy's picture and hang it up, that's not a chesaron. You're not causing any chesaron to the picture, right? To the painting using your case, right? So the question is that called shlichus yad? So Beis Shammai holds shlichus yad does not need a chesaron, so it's considered like he used it, even though he didn't take anything from it. And when it went down, it went down in the owner's reshus. So therefore, he only has to pay. But then when the guy, when does it go into the reshus of the shomer? When the shomer destroys it. So you only have to pay what it's worth when it was destroyed. Beis Hillel holds that it does need chesaron. I'm sorry, I think I explained it the wrong way. Beis Shammai holds shlichus yad doesn't need chesaron. So then when it went down, it went down in the reshus of the shomer. So then he has to pay. Yeah, I explained it the wrong way. Again, Beis Shammai is saying shlichus yad does not need chesaron. So right when he moves this item that he's not supposed to move, then it becomes his, and whatever was worth then, that's what he pays. So when it's missing, he does it in his own. It becomes in the shomer's reshus. So therefore, the price went down. He has to pay what it was when he first took it. Beis Hillel holds that shlichus yad doesn't need a chesaron. In order to be chayav shlichus yad, you need to have somebody actually take something from it. So Memela, when it went down, it was not in the Shomer's Rishus because he didn't make it lose anything. It only became into the Shomer's Rishus once he busted it or once he drank it. That's the case. He only pays what it was worth when he messed with it. Okay, so that's the way of explaining the machlokes now. Then the Gemara asks another kasha. So Rava said shlichus yad doesn't need a chesaron. We had this machlokes on daf memali. Lema Rava damer to Beishamai. So now Rava's paskening like Beishamai because Beishamai holds that shlichus yad does not need chesaron. Talking about where he took it in order to chase the birds, right? Meaning he used the barrel of wine in order to step on it to be able to reach the birds. And the whole machlokes is shoyel shalom das. If somebody borrows something without the knowledge of the owner, he's a gazlan. So then if that's the case, when the price goes down, it went down in his rishus, and therefore he has to pay back what it was worth when he took it. So when the price goes down, it's not his problem. Shoyel is considered a borrower. And when it went down in the rishus of the master, and therefore he does have to pay. He only has to pay what it was worth when it got destroyed. So again, the Gemara says, "Elahadam Arava Shoyel Shalem Midas l'Rabbanon Gazlan Havi." So Shoyel Shalem Midas is a Gazlan according to the Rabbanon. Yeah. So then Ela Lema Rava Damak Beishamai. Again, Rava is saying like Beishamai. So how can you say that Rava is going like Beishamai? Elahacha b'shvach shel gezela kamiflugi. Having a machlokes, if someone gezela gets stolen and the price goes up, how much do you have to pay back? When the gzela improves, it belongs to the nigzel, the guy that got stolen from. So Mamela, when the price goes up, the ganav has to pay back the higher price. The improvements of the gzela, it gets to be kept by the gazan. Remember, we had this in Bava Kama. It's hard to understand, right? You steal an animal has a baby, and the gazan gets to keep the baby and give it back and just gives back the mother. Or he shears the wool, and then he gives back the animal. A hard sheet to understand. Right? And it's in machlokes tanaim. The Tanya hagozel is a rachel. If somebody steals a sheep, gozezah, and he shares it, right? Meaning he takes off the wool. The yolda or it gave birth. Mishalim oisa veskizeseves lo desel divrameir. Meir hold. You have to give it back with its wool and its baby. No, he says no. You just give back the animal. You can keep the wool and you can keep the baby. All right, so that's the Beishamai Vasila having that same machlokes, whether that applies. Dekanami, so we can redaik that that's true. Yes, Bava Kama. Not all that long ago.
It sounds more recent. I don't know. Like
it was. I don't remember the date.
If you pay for something, who gets?
I don't know. So Dekanami, the Katani Beishamai Yilka, the Chaser Uba Yasser. So in the Mishnah, what's the lashon Beishamai said is that he gets punished with whether the price goes up or the price goes down. Basila says you pay the way it went out. So Shmami knows. So we hear from this that's what's the Mishnah talking about? When the actual stolen item went up and down, that's not in value. It itself gained, meaning it was like an animal that had a baby or an animal that grew wool, etc. Fine. Rabbi Kiva Aimer Kishas Hatfiya. Rabbi Kiva's shita is that totally different than the other two shitas. He holds that you only have to pay back if the shomer used something. You only have to pay back what it was worth when they went to Bezdin. So Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Amar Shmuel, halacha Rabbi Kiva, halacha is like Rabbi Kiva. Well, Rabbi Kiva, but Rabbi Kiva's maida that if there were Adim who saw the shomer using it, then you have to pay how much it was worth when it went to the shomer. My timer, it says that you have to the person who was his on the day that he did something wrong. Right? So meaning you have to pay it on the day that he became guilty. Right? So that's how you know that he pays on the day he's guilty, meaning the day he goes to bed. But even the Ika Adim, okay, so once there are Adim, really, if there are witnesses that witnessed him using this thing illegally, meaning he wasn't supposed to, he's supposed to watch it, he's not supposed to use it. If where there were Adims and then we already take it to the bank, literally, I don't know, literally, figuratively, you could take it to the bank that the guy is going to be chayiv. So if the Adim see it, we look at it, it's already like his best. So Rav Ashi said to Rav Yehuda, Rebbe, Ata Aimer came. Do you say this? Do you agree to this? Rav Kiva says, even if Adim see it, you still say that you have to wait and only pay what it was worth when Bezdin decided it. My timer. That he has to give it to him on the day that he became an Asham, the day that something went wrong with him. And Bezdin's what's Mechayiv and Asham, not Adim. Right? When you're going up to Eretz Yisrael, Akif Asulam b'Detzur, go around to literally a sulam means a ladder, but go up to the mountains of Tzur. Yes.
Why is Rav Yehuda Meshuvah to Rav Yochanan?
You asked this, I think.
Oh.
I think you asked this in Bava Kama. I don't know if I had this exactly in Bava Kama. I think we didn't have this more in Bava Kama, but I think you asked why is he Meshuvah? And that's Sugya. You asked it about something. I'm pretty sure.
It's either me or Akiva.
No, this is your style, Kasha. Which it should be because it's you asking the Kasha. Brilliant, right? It's like when you hear a Kalbach Nigga, you say it sounds like a Kalbach Nigga. Oh, yeah, well, it's Kalbach Nigga. So, I mean.
Karsha, we're not insulted that it wasn't my Kasha. Don't
worry.
I didn't mean it in that way at all.
Anyways, that's good, Taka. So, so Reb Zera told him, when you're going up to Eretz Yisrael, go around and go to Reb Yaakov Bar Idi, ask him, Reb Yochanan, Halacha Reb Akiva, Ayin Halacha Reb Akiva. Ask if he heard from Reb Yochanan if the halacha is like Reb Akiva or not. Amarlei. So Reb Idi, when he went to him, Reb Yaakov Bar Idi told him, Hachi Amar Reb Yochanan, Halacha Reb Akiva la'olam. The halacha is like Reb Akiva la'olam, forever. Okay, my la'olam. What does it mean forever? Amar Rav Ashi. Shaloi Toimar Hani Milu Hechad Leka Edim. Don't say that maybe the halacha is like Reb Akiva when there's no Edim. But when there's Edim, we don't paskin like Rebbe Kiva, right? Because we just had a machlokes whether Rebbe Kiva's din. Again, Rebbe Kiva is saying that you pay, but based on the pasuk, you pay when the guy became chayiv, when he became an asham, which is normally in Bezdin. So we have a machlokes whether if Edim see it, if that's enough, because we know that he's going to be chayiv. So the reason why I said la'olam is to tell you that we paskin like Rebbe Kiva both. With Adim and without Adim. V'inami. Or maybe a different reason why I said La'ilam, the Hadru L'duchte B'savra, that even if, let's say the Shomer used it, right? He used it, and then he put it back, meaning when the rich guy came using Reb Aaron's mushal, he used the rich guy came, he hung up the painting, and then the rich guy left and he put the painting back. So everything is as if nothing happened, right? But he put it back and then it broke. So now what's the story? He used it, but no damage came from the usage. But do we say that once he used it, it's a problem? And that's coming to exclude Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Shmuel, like we had in yesterday's daf, it's coming to exclude Rabbi Shmuel, who holds that you don't need das bailim, meaning, so using again this mushal, he would have to tell the owner, you took the painting, I took the painting and I put it back. And Kozman, that he doesn't tell him that he put it back, it's as if he still used it. Fine. The Rav Amar halacha kibeis Hillel, and Rabba says halacha is like Beis Hillel, right? So, which is interesting because why do you need Rabba to say that? Rashi says in halachas like Rava because he was later. Interesting Rashi. Rashi says he came later than Shmuel. Right? Shmuel had said the halachas like Rabbi Kiva. Yeah, I think what the pshat is here is that there was no Beis Shammai was not an option to paskin like. That's pashut. There's a shaila whether you paskin like Beis Hillel or Rabbi Kiva. So Shmuel paskin like Rabbi Kiva. Rava paskin like Beis Hillel. That's the chiddush, right? Because like Beis Hillel neged Rabbi Kiva, not Beis Hillel neged Beis Shammai. And why are we paskening like Rava? Because Rava came later.
Right? Why isn't it a kasha on Shmuel? Don't we have a klal? Halacha Rabbi Kiva mechavei roi v'lei mechavei rav.
You mean but here
there's two chalkim. Beis Hillel and Beis Shammai.
Right. But I don't know. Do we look at it like that? Because each one's saying their own shita.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's a three-way machlokes. I mean, I'll ask you the other way. Mimanovshach. If Shmuel holds that Beis Shammai v'Bakim Beis Hillel lessay, then halacha should be like Rabbi Kiva, because halacha Rabbi Kiva mechavei roi v'lei mechavei rav. If Beis Shammai is not cancelled out, then Rava should be correct.
I hear.
Or maybe that's what the machlokes Shmuel and Rava is.
I hear. I don't know. Okay. Initially, I would think that it's not like that, but fine. But I don't know. I don't have a time. Okay, we'll stop over here. I got people for chametz. All right, Tillim. We could finish pretty early. I can maybe get a miter. Okay. Shir is Bob. Yeah. Shir is Bob. Asaf. Alhim Adom Milach. Hatechra. Shotishka.